Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet again another edition of Man Cave Mondays. And this is Dan with you in the Man Cave. Welcome back. We are diving into quite the conversation this week. My t-shirt says a lot. Xbox is, let's just say they've made a rather aggressive move this past week. And the timing of it could not have been more strategic with the announcement of Sony and their, I don't even know what the heck happened there because I've forgotten it because Microsoft bought Bethesda. What the heck is going on? We are going to be discussing and breaking down that and PlayStation, and man, like this is a crazy week. And I'm going to first dive right in with introducing our guest panel. I don't know that we're going to get into the news because this really essentially is the news. Christian.
Boo.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. The big PlayStation guy over there hating on the massive, aggressive move.
You know what? I'm gonna save my thoughts for when everybody's in and running.
I'm sure you probably will. I'm over here doing my happy dance. I really am. I am so excited about the future of video games. This changes
all I'm gonna say
everything.
Is the fact is that this does not surprise me that you feel this way about such a move based on your view on many other controversial subjects.
Of course not. Of course I'm not. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep going. Alberto is here. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
How was your week?
Pretty good. I saw one of my best friends get married last week.
Nice.
Hey.
There you go.
It was a great way to start the weekend. And then now someone's birthday yesterday, so it's been nothing but uphill good news.
That's an exciting week right there, man.
That's the best thing of 2020 so far.
That's very cool. Yeah, that is for those people, definitely. Without a doubt. I personally am really excited about this Microsoft Bethesda news. That is I was looking for something to get excited about in 2020, and this is definitely.
If I could roll my eyes louder, I would.
I could hear it. Christian. I definitly could.
Well, that's just the empty space in my skull rattling around.
Joe is running a little bit late, and he said he'd be with us here in just a minute. But Bobby is here. How you doing, sir?
Moving forward as always.
How was your week?
It was pretty busy.
Busy?
Yeah, busy. So
nice
starting to wind down. Thank you.
I like that.
Yes.
I feel like maybe I should wear a hat. I got the shiny chrome dome thing going on with these lights. I don't know that.
This was a gift from a family, from one of my former families.
Very nice.
You should wear a mask.
My wife hates this. My wife personally hates this hat, so I wear it a lot.
She hates the hat, so you wear it a lot.
I love it. It's my inside hat. She does not like it.
You don't like you can't wear it in public because it embarrasses the family, but you're going to wear it on the internet here for all the internet.
Go outside. Yeah, I'll definitely wear it.
Alberto, why'd you just turn your camera down so I can see your PlayStation shirt better? Why did you do that? Why'd you do that?
I was trying to
see that.
I didn't want you guys to see the unfinished ceiling, so I was like, let me just pull down a little bit.
You know, I've at least got the
PlayStation shirt. I'm just throwing that out there.
I couldn't find the PlayStation shirt, but I've got the blue at least. So.
You got the blue. You do have the blue. That's true. While we're waiting for Joe, I know, Bobby, you were asking a little bit earlier some questions, just kind of a get to know you kind of thing. And I realized maybe our very first episode we did that, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot that people really know about us besides the nerdy man cave conversations that we have every week. So you had a question you were going to ask us.
I was going to ask.
Let's throw it out there. We'll start with that before we dive into our conversation as we're waiting for Joe.
I was going to ask, what do you guys do when you're not on this blog or playing video games? How do you make money? What's your big boy job?
How do you put on your big boy pants?
How are you adulting?
How are you adulting? There you go.
How are you adulting?
Who wants to go first? I guess. Go ahead, Alberto, Christian.
Whichever one of you guys wants to go first. I don't care.
I could go first.
Go for it.
Daytime job right now, working from home, working freelance for the Lewis University, the history department. I'm helping design courses.
Nice.
My employment was supposed to be done in May, but with COVID, they needed the extra help, so they extended it.
I was going to say
through the rest of summer to the beginning of fall, and
that sounds like some busyness there.
It was busy in July when it was that real big hump when everyone had to convert everything to online.
Yeah.
And a lot of professors didn't fully know how to do all that instructional design online yet. So
yeah,
it was a busy summer, but that's big boy job. But then free time, watching movies, watching TV, watching anime, playing music, and hanging out with either my family or close ones like my girlfriend. Just always doing something no matter what, though.
Cool. All right, Christian, your turn.
A single guy.
I am a notary, full-time big boy job. So
very cool.
Helping people through purchasing houses, refinancing houses, all that fun stuff. Free time when I have free time, playing video games, watching TV, watching movies, hanging out with my wife.
You guys have been married
a little over 2 years. Yeah. 2018.
Very cool.
So
I was there. I remember that.
You were there. You were there.
That was a fun day.
That was a fun day. Nerve-wracking, but it was fun. It was a good time.
I guess I can go. I am an IT guy for and technically the AV guy now for high school. And we are in the midst of all the crazy COVID e-learning, remote learning, teachers learning how to do class, both in the class and at home, like just all that madness. It's been a pretty crazy busy last few months for me too. Yeah. So
you are single-handedly responsible for making sure hundreds of children stay educated.
I mean, single-handedly, I'm part of a pretty amazing kick-ass team, but
it's all you, Dan. Take the credit. It's all you.
Yeah, I'd rather throw myself under the bus, but but we do. I mean, yeah, we're pretty important right now. I'll just put it that way. So, and then Bobby, what about you? What do you do?
I have my education and a lot of work experience. I have in business and early childhood administration. Okay. But now these days, I'm a full-time stay-at-home dad during the day. And at nights and weekends, I teach adult and pediatric CPR.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Saving people's lives in case they fall over from COVID. And no,
teaching them in case someone if someone's hurt, how to call 911 and what to do, and how to keep calm in an emergency and what to do.
There we go.
And then again, my most important job is taking home of my almost 2-year-old who's the size of a small 3-year-old.
There you go. Doing the dad thing.
Yeah.
Crazy lives that we live. Well, Joe's still not here.
We can jump in.
Do we want to wait for him, or do we not want to wait for him?
Let's just jump in.
I think first, Dan. I think as I know what you're talking, because I was doing all the reading and all the
stuff. Were you like reading up on a lot of this? Because Bobby, you're not really
I was reading up on it, but So I want you to talk about the Xbox purchase of the overall company and what that involves and what they're gaining.
Right.
What is Xbox gaining with their big purchase that they just announced?
Here he is. He's just chiming in. Look at that. So right when Bobby asked the question, right there he is. Oh, where'd he go? And
I'm right here.
I'm sorry. You were there just a second ago, and then you disappeared, and then you pop up from below.
The world's greatest.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do you for real have a Christmas tree up behind you right now?
No. It's a Halloween tree.
Oh, dude. That's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that.
You go to Menards, all the Christmas stuff is already there.
How exactly do you decorate a Halloween tree as opposed to a Christmas tree?
You can go to a Dollar Tree and they sell Halloween ornaments that are like purple and orange. But not only that, for my birthday, I got special lights for my birthday. My wife got me some special lights, and they're called twinkly lights. And if you give me a second, and because I love technology, I'll show you.
Do you control them with your phone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Any color you want.
That's cool.
That is
cool.
That is pretty cool.
Here, I just.
That is very cool.
So.
Oh yeah. That's
Dude,
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So.
Do you also use the exact same set for Christmas too, or no?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it feel like it's a little more like money well spent then.
It's pretty cool.
Wow, look at that. And they're like fading in and out and left and right and like rotating and stuff. Nice.
You can choose anything you want. I'm pretty happy about it.
We might have to talk about that later. That's impressive. I'm liking that.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we dive into the conversation, Joe, real quick.
Tell me about the tree.
My wife's like, tell him about the tree. The tree is my old Christmas tree from 2 years ago.
Okay.
A live tree.
A live tree? From 2 years ago.
Yeah, that I took my Christmas tree, put it in the woods, and let it sit there for 2 years. And so took it out. It's just a dead Christmas tree.
Right.
I mean, a Halloween tree.
And that would make perfect sense to be a Halloween tree, I guess. That
is
perfect, actually.
So,
wow. I am impressed, sir.
You know how I feel about the holidays.
Yeah, dude. Real quick before we jump into the main conversation, because all of us did this. What do you do when you're not doing this podcast?
What's your big boy job?
That was the thing we chose to talk about to kill time before you got on.
How do you adult?
How are you adulting?
I own my own business called Legacy Marketing and Print. I do social media marketing, SEO, and print and graphic design for clients. Nice. And I also do web design and consulting for growing businesses. And everything from do photography, videography, and creating content for my clients.
Cool.
So
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So and then other than that, like other than work related, you're playing video games with your wife and kids, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I try to, or hike, or we hike, or skateboard.
Nice.
If my bones can allow it.
If your old man bones allow you to do that.
If they don't turn to paper mache.
Yeah. Diving into the conversation here. So I feel like it would be unfair of me to make it be all about Xbox, because it's been 2 weeks and Christian was really excited about us coming back.
Can anybody else
talk about
feel the sarcasm dripping off of
talk about whatever was announced by Sony?
I'll do it.
Oh my dang!
You know what? I am a gracious PlayStation fan. You guys can start with the Bethesda stuff, and then we'll jump into
so yes,
that was the more recent.
Yes, there was a little bit of sarcasm there, just a smidge.
Yeah.
But for real, there was some pretty significant stuff that was announced.
There was. This is probably the most eventful.
Ironically, is connected to Bethesda.
Yeah.
And exclusivity and interesting conversations. So
yeah, there's
I figured let's start the conversation there and talk about what Sony announced and what's coming up for them. And then talk about the smart or shady limelight spotlight stealing that they just totally but we'll get to that. So PlayStation did their, it was mainly games, right?
Yes, it was their like final PlayStation 5 event.
Right.
So they had a couple other ones where they like announced show what it looked like, and there was going to be the 2 different models of it, and announced a bunch of games. This was more the like final big, like, these are the big first party games we've got coming. This is what the price is, release date, all that good stuff.
What is the official price of it?
Official price. So for the digital console, the official price is $399 US dollars.
$399 US.
For the full physical console, it is $499 US.
Okay.
So the full physical console matches the price of the Xbox Series X.
I was going to say that's the same price as the high-end one for Xbox.
Right. And the digital console comes in technically $100 more expensive than the cheaper Xbox, but the cheaper Xbox is not the same specs and stats as the Xbox Series X, whereas the digital PS5 is the exact same console, just no disc drive.
Yeah, it's definitely compared to the high-end Xbox, this Xbox Series S. These names are getting really.
They are. Well, and that's the interesting thing
really
too.
Confusing. As an Xbox person,
yeah,
I'm getting agitated by how dumb these names are.
Well, fun fact for you guys: the Xbox One X, on the date of Xbox Series X pre-orders, went up 797% in
sales numbers went through the roof because everybody was buying the wrong system.
Yeah,
because people can't read.
Well, because people
can't read, or they don't know what the hell is going on with Microsoft's naming. Like,
you got Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X. What?
And I get it because this Xbox One X. $500, $499 price.
Yeah, it's exactly.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah,
we get it.
How many kids are going to be disappointed this Christmas to open up their?
That kid.
Yeah,
he's going to be like totally thinking he's getting an Xbox Series X on Christmas. Mom thought he got him the right one, and she totally didn't.
Yep, little old grandma's going to come in with the box. Here you go, little Jimmy.
And he's going to be pissed off.
It's going to be worse. It's going to be from Santa.
Santa doesn't know what he's talking about. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
you were a bad boy, so you're getting an old X.
Yeah, the elves got confused. All right, there was a misprint on the work orders.
Right, but here's an interesting thing to look at, just comparison wise. If I can share this here.
Yeah, so I shared that in our group this week.
Yeah,
the PS5 is massive.
This is, if I can get a bigger picture here, this is the equivalent to what the Xbox, or no, not the PlayStation 5 looks like.
Do you have the other one that I shared in there too?
I do.
That one has the Xbox in there as well.
Let me see if the new Xbox or
no, it has the Xbox Series X in there as well.
Okay,
that's all to scale, huh?
Yeah. This thing is massive.
It's ginormous.
Well, because
where are you going to put that thing?
Because one of the problems was with the PS4 was they didn't have enough cooling in it. So that's why it sounds like a jet engine anytime you're playing Call of Duty.
It definitely has a jet engine thing going on.
With the PS5,
the regular one, the PS4 doesn't have that as much. But
so with the PS5, they literally, I think they have like 4 different cooling fans built into it to help the speed and all that stuff.
Why did they just get a liquid cooler? Just pour water into it, just so it cools with water, connected to your sink.
That's exactly what Xbox did. So just saying.
I don't remember. I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm not the spec guy. I'm not the guy who's going to go into all the nitty gritty. It's got this much GPU RAM bullshit. That's not me.
You don't even. I don't know. I don't care. I'm trying to bring up that picture here, Christian. I'll find it here once my.
So while you're looking for that, if somebody can correct me because I don't have it handy, the Xbox Series X is what day is that one coming out? What's the release date for that one?
November 10th.
November 10th, right? And then PS5 is the 13th, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm almost positive that's what it is. I had it pulled up, but
why not? We'll go with that.
Yeah, they're like a day or two.
The 12th. So they're pretty much coming out. Sony has definitely learned from their PlayStation 3 mistake of releasing it almost a full year after the Xbox.
That was really dumb.
Yeah,
I don't know why. And they released it at like $600.
Yeah, they have definitely learned how to do that, how to avoid that problem.
But here's the deal, Christian. Do you think their console war success and exclusivity has made their head swell too big, and they can't see the forest through the trees on the future of gaming.
Here's okay.
I know that sounds like a loaded question
no.
from the Xbox guy, but it's a genuine one.
Here's my honest opinion. I think the Xbox Game Pass is a fantastic deal for what it provides, and I think that it has the potential to radically change the landscape of gaming.
Big time.
But
it
also has the potential to cripple Microsoft because they depend on other companies being willing to put their games in there. Because Xbox does not have enough big games in their own. Now with Bethesda they do, but they depend on other companies being willing to put their games into the subscription service.
Well, I don't think Microsoft is diversified enough. It's not just
as a whole.
Because remember you have your laptops and Windows.
It has the potential to cripple their gaming. So it has the potential to cripple their gaming wing, because the Xbox itself does not have enough legs to stand on outside of the Game Pass. If the Game Pass did not exist, the Xbox has almost no major selling points.
And I think
here's we'll let Joe jump in here, and we'll let Joe jump in.
I have a thing to say after.
Go ahead, Bobby. Then Joe, you chime in after that.
I was just going to say Microsoft is a software company to begin with, not a hardware company.
They spent $7.8 billion,
right?
With a B. Billion.
So, and they're buying with Bethesda, which is what's the parent company name of ZeniMax. So, right. So Dan was talking about that. Just so viewers, Xbox bought a company which includes, say it for me, guys.
ZeniMax,
which has a lot of
ZeniMax,
which has a lot of intellectual properties such as Doom, Wolfenstein, and they're all going to be exclusive to Xbox.
Well, it has not been confirmed.
In theory, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but there's the possibility.
Ooh.
Yes, Halo. they said that all the games will be a
Doom Halo
basis.
So
basis.
It's a software first company, not a hardware. So I think Dan made point in other podcasts. They're not focusing on the hardware anymore. They're focusing on the software. They're focusing on the long game. So I think doing this
accessibility.
I think that's gonna be the success to the company overall. And we can go into why Microsoft is more successful than Sony and Nintendo later. So
wait, hold on a second. Andrew, what are you doing here?
Who let him in?
I was just, doing a little light reading of my Super Mario 64 strategy.
Andrew, what are you doing here?
I'm just here to represent Nintendo because nobody else is.
Oh, shut up. Like, we need to hear about Nintendo right now. They're not even part of the conversation.
The last big thing they did was the Reagan administration.
That's a good.
This is the last.
Really, the great uniter.
This is the last big thing they did.
Oh my gosh, you're switch.
I mean, are you able to
do an introduction here, real quick, for everybody?
Xbox right now? I'm just
totally
saying
out of it.
You know how hard it is to get a Switch.
This for those of you that do not know, this is my younger brother, my baby brother. Andrew, he's a big Nintendo guy, and as such, he's usually wrong on just about everything. So,
okay.
I don't know who let him on the show.
I got my ways.
My money's on Bobby. I bet he let him in.
That I don't. Somebody let you on.
Bobby seems like Bobby doesn't have a horse in this race, so I think he's just trying to stir the controversy.
Bobby is a Nintendo fan as well.
Yeah,
I am a Nintendo fan.
He's hoping that if he let Andrew in, Andrew would sell him his Nintendo Switch.
I would love to play Breath of the Wild if I could somehow get a copy of Breath of the Wild.
All right. So before you showed up and derailed everything, we were going to go to Joe, who was going to try and explain why Xbox is significantly more than consoles, I believe, or something along those lines.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Christian said that without Game Pass, Xbox did not stand on.
That is exactly what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, and I stand by that opinion.
That's a good point.
What?
I stand by that opinion.
No. What?
How can you say that after the success of the Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox? They've made profit on each one. Obviously, they're
first Xbox.
Everybody who's a big Sony fan going, Xbox just totally bombed and they just sucked this whole generation. $7.8 billion enough to acquisition the entirety
Yeah, if Microsoft was only a gaming company, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
Exactly.
But Sony is not only a gaming company.
I'm not saying they are.
And Sony could not do that.
Yes, they could. Yes, they could. 100% they could. 100% they
Sony is not in a position to drop $7.5 billion on one gaming
because
company.
they wouldn't, but they're in a position they could.
No, they're really not. They're really not.
I am a specs guy. It drives Dan nuts.
It does.
I love graphics. The prettier the game, the better.
When was the last time you played an old school N64 or PlayStation game, Joe?
Never.
For a long time, right? Yeah.
I'm playing one right now.
What is the main reason why you can't go backwards on those games? What is the main reason?
Because they're ugly.
No, there it is.
Because
I would rather play a good game that's ugly than a pretty bad game.
You load it up now and you're like, mother effer, you were hard to look at, right?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to disagree. I mean, last week for my sister's birthday, we all sat out on the patio with a projector and we played Pokemon Stadium 2 for an hour and a half. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, and we were about to play Perfect Dark. I mean, the list could keep going on. I
personally think if it's got a solid story, if it's got engaging gameplay that keeps me going,
100%. I don't care what it looks like.
Can I ask a question really fast?
Yes.
I'm curious. Everyone, go in order. Dan, Christian, we'll just go in clockwork order. What was your first console you ever owned, whether it was given to you or bought?
Oh, Daniel, what was your first console?
What was the
first console? What was the game? What was the thing that got you into video gaming? What
I want to ask the question.
The Nintendo Entertainment System, the very one that you stole from mom and dad's house and is sitting somewhere behind you in front of this entire audience.
Hey, most of this collection of NES has been post, my childhood.
The Nintendo Entertainment System, classic system. I still have my NES games, with the exception of the ones that Andrew stole from my mom and dad.
Except for this one, baby.
Yeah.
What's up?
Excite bike. It's Excite bike. Anyways, that was my first system.
So Christian?
So first system I ever played on, or first system that was ever technically mine?
That's a very good
distinction. What got you started?
So the first game I can ever remember in my memory playing was Duck Hunt. But I mean, I was a toddler.
And what was the first one that you owned?
The first console I can vividly remember owning and playing a ton of games on was the N64.
Okay. Alberto, what was yours? Introduction or first one that you owned?
First game I ever played was Pokemon Blue off my cousin's Game Boy in a park.
Right. So you're mobile, dude.
Yeah, so that was my first take, and then the first console I got, playing Pokemon Blue. I remember going to Best Buy, and there was a demo station of N64 with Pokemon Stadium, and I begged, and I got it for my 5th birthday, and that's it. That just steamrolled everything after that.
So a Nintendo 64. So we're all on a Nintendo kick right now.
Okay, so Bobby, hang on. We need to clarify here. We're talking the first thing that hooked me in. It was an Atari 2600 playing Pitfall at my uncle's house on Thanksgiving. That's what it was.
I was too young for that.
All right. Well, we can. All right. So because we asked everyone that question, so we'll let you go back to that one.
Bobby, what about you?
Nintendo NES Christmas. I remember it was already played because my dad admitted years after that he set it up and was playing Super Mario before I woke up.
It's a good.
He's honest.
He was honest, and I owned Duck Hunt, Mario, and Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
There
Those
you
were
go.
my first two
Yes.
video games.
Solid game right there.
It's good.
All right, Joe.
Introduction was NES, but it wasn't mine. Yeah, I watched my mom play it because I was a toddler. But my first system that was mine was a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we're talking.
All right.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, man.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yes. Echo the Dolphin.
You end your list with that. You go Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin.
I played
Chameleon the Kid.
Oh, that
Kid Chameleon.
Oh,
Chameleon, dude.
my.
I
Don't.
played the
That's my
shit
favorite
out of
one.
Echo the Dolphin.
You bet, dude. The
Dude.
first time you could actually swim like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game was pretty revolutionary for its time.
Yeah,
You
what?
go back in time, you're swimming with prehistoric animals, you're
Yes.
fighting aliens.
Yes.
Why not?
A dolphin taking on aliens.
Yeah.
That was
It's a weird
the
game.
first.
It's a really weird game.
The first Sega game I played was actually Kid Chameleon, and then Comic Zone, Super
Comic
Hang
Zone.
On,
Oh, that was a fun one.
Comic
yeah,
Zone.
and then Shining Force. And once I played Shining Force, I didn't touch anything for like 4 years, and then Sonic. I was like, oh, Sonic exists. So
All righty.
Andrew, and what was yours?
on.
Shining Force, baby.
Oh,
Okay.
what
First,
was-
before I say, that was
Shining Force.
Shining Force for Sega.
I'm
Genesis.
so jealous. That's my favorite Genesis game.
Yeah.
That is the
great
game.
Before I say anything, I just want to.
Sorry, what was that? Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, I guess he had to leave. He had to leave. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
there-
what's that? I got an itch right here.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Before I say anything, I just want to. I just want to say that I love the fact that we're supposed to be talking about the future of gaming, and we're
Yes.
talking about retro gaming.
I think,
blesses
I think
my
to
heart.
understand the future, you got to understand
It's
the
true.
past.
Okay, so obviously I'm Daniel's brother, more handsome brother,
More hair.
more hair. I wasn't gonna say
This
anything.
is a choice, sir.
A choice that was forced upon you by your lack of hair.
Don't even go
So I remember we were given an NES from our aunt and uncle, and dude, we played that so much. Especially
Leans back
this
to
game.
grab the cartridge.
we played
Yes.
this so much.
That's the port from the arcade, right?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I mean, like that was learning the Konami code, and I mean even just like the reality of like renting games, and like does anyone remember doing that? That's just a weird concept.
Yes, of course.
I still rent
yes.
games.
Rest in peace, the
I-
family video that's closing down the road from our house.
Under around here. Yeah.
But yeah, that and then arcades.
Hasn't yet. It's coming.
So, arcades were a big thing even when we were kids still.
Yeah.
And that was always the coolest thing in the world to go to the arcade and waste $20,
Oh my gosh.
Your parents were generous. 20
Oh
bucks.
no, that was
My parents gave me 50 cents.
No. That was 20 bucks split amongst 5 children, and money well spent for a mom and dad that want time away from their kids.
Yeah. But that was
Easy
like my
20
birthday money.
Easy 20 bucks.
Yeah, I would use my birthday money and I'd go to the arcade. And I remember just feeling like a king when like I put in a 20 and all of those quarters came out. It just felt so good.
So, Christian, I did find that picture though,
Okay, perfect.
and of it next to an Xbox. This is the PS5 next to. Well, here's
Yeah.
it.
So you got PS5, then the
30-inch TV right here. 30-inch.
30-inch.
Everyone, I think, right?
Yeah, 30-inch TV, the PS5, the Series X, the Switch, PS5 sideways, and then the PS4.
And then the PS4 next to it. That thing is a behemoth.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
that's massive.
massive.
That is the biggest console I think anyone
It's
has.
gonna be the first console I've ever had to put vertically because I do not have any like space that long.
Yeah.
I love
on my
how
TV.
I love how whoever designed this like little graphical comparison made the TV stand that it's sitting on clearly not big enough to fit nearly system in here at all.
Yeah.
That thing is gigantic.
It is. So the Series X looks like it's about the same size as the PS4 vertically. Maybe a little smaller even.
Yeah, a little shorter.
Yeah, maybe a little shorter, but
literally looks like a boom box.
it basically looks like if you took two Xbox One X and like sandwiched them together.
Yeah,
that's basically what you have.
Yeah.
So a boombox is a portable player that people used to bring around for all you youngins out there. Sometimes you can use a thing called a cassette tape, and then you connected it to the radio, and you had to wait for your song to play, and you hit record so you can have the song that you wanted.
Yeah.
Or you had dual music
radio station and tell the DJ which song you wanted, and if they played it in the next half hour to an hour, you had to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Or you get a tape from your friend and a blank tape, and you let one play while the other one recorded.
Okay, so moving on to the future.
The PS5 is massive, and we were talking 2 weeks ago about whether we thought Sony would try to undercut Microsoft or not. They ended up not, clearly.
Which I'm surprised about.
I am surprised as well, but I honestly think
for such a lesser system to be
it's not okay. No, time out.
Let's keep it civil. Let's keep it civil.
It is how okay.
This is the man cave.
Since you're the spec guy, explain to me how it's such a lesser system.
Easy. It doesn't have the same power.
But it has much faster speed.
So
why is power more important than speed?
Okay, well, one thing to keep in mind is that did he not say that his first system was Genesis, and Genesis' whole marketing scheme at the beginning was power,
right?
Power. So that's just how it is. I think Joe is the specs guy because he started off as a spec guy.
Yeah, blast processing, which actually ended up being a bunch of BS.
Because let me ask you a question, Joe.
Didn't mean anything.
a serious question for you.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact numbers. You do. So if the Xbox is here and the PS5 is here, let's just say, what percentage of games within the next 3 years is even gonna be able to be played at that highest power, at the highest graphical capacity? Not very many, probably.
I would say 20%.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
30.
But how many of those games are going to be able to play at the fastest speed? Almost all of them. Because speed is just loading speed. It's how fast the graphics can come up. You're not going to have to deal with any of like the cutting in and out when you're playing open world RPGs. PS5 has virtually non-existent loading times.
Is that important to you?
Yes. I don't want to be sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for Red Dead Redemption to load.
Who's waiting 5 minutes?
Time is money, by the way. Time
you only
is
got
money.
a limited amount of time on this earth.
Yeah,
I
would much rather be able to play a game where I don't have to watch a loading screen every minute and a half when I'm going into a building, out of a building, into a new area, onto a new level. I would much rather have a faster game than a more powerful game because most games aren't even going to be able to hit that power threshold anyways.
How is the Switch compared to the loading and everything?
Which is the reason why when I'm playing online with Daniel and we're playing Xbox, I always keep this around when there's loading times because I actually want to be playing something.
Right, and that's the thing. Like the loading times nowadays are ridiculous.
Switch is eating up all your internet. I'm just saying.
I'm playing just locally.
Here's the deal. When we're talking about the load times of the new systems coming out, we are talking essentially about the difference between gold medal Olympic first place winner and silver medal. Like
not necessarily.
They're there. Like the load times are going to be ridiculously non-existent in the next gen of games.
Yeah. But not even just load times, just the general processing speed of the PlayStation 5 is better than the Xbox. So
they're all going to be radically better than we've ever.
Right. So if you've got faster speed on one console and more power on the other console, and they're both beating each other in one of those two major categories, I don't think you can say one is such a lesser console. They're prioritizing different things.
I respectfully disagree.
So you're fine that your most powerful console ever and your superior console, that power will only be relevant in 20% of games you play over the next 3 years? when the speed is going to be relevant in almost every single game I play over the next 3 years?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
There we go.
All right. Hey, you know what? Yeah. There you go. You know what? That's fine. I respect that.
If my Destiny loads up and it's going at 60 frames per second in 4K, yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't care if it takes 2 minutes to load up. Where on PlayStation 5 it might take 30 seconds. I'd rather have the 60 frames per second.
He's willing to wait for a beautiful game that will come to him.
Also,
have you seen my wife? My wife is a beautiful, beautiful woman. I'm willing to wait for beautiful.
You know what, Joe? I respect that. I do. I respect that.
I was gonna say also like
Brownie
I
point.
I can see all like the loading time.
Rolling around. Yeah.
I can see.
What do you
I can
say,
see.
Alberto?
Oh, sorry. No. I don't want to come off, but like I was just saying that like I can see all the loading time stuff being a bigger argument if this was like the PS2 original Xbox GameCube era when everything was still DVD format. But at the end of the day, like the next set of games is still Blu-ray. And it can only go so fast. So like I'm kind of like almost like on the same boat with Dan that like it doesn't matter to me the loading times that much because like Andrew, I might not have my Switch on me like during the times that something is loading. But we do live in modern times where our phone is right there and there's Twitter, Facebook, something you can scroll right through for 30 seconds or 35 seconds. So like Dan was saying, like I don't care too much about speed. It's more about the games. And now it's like PlayStation has like the exclusive games, which is cool and all, but then also Xbox has like with the Bethesda thing. I was like, damn, that's
it is.
I would bring one correction to what you said, Alberto. Blu-ray is not the future of games.
Is that not going to be like the disc format that they're still going to be?
It might be, but again,
cloud gaming is probably where it's going to.
Oh yeah,
all digital.
Oh no. I meant just like
it's not even a thing anymore.
I meant
like load times and how fast the machine has to speed up and load the game. Microsoft is going, hey, that's not the direction we're going in because we're going to be doing all of that, streaming it directly to your device.
But your device still has to be able to process the game, even if it's digitally.
No, it just has to process your input to it. It's not processing the game itself. It's
still whether you're streaming it or playing it on a disc, the console still has to be able to pump out the game to your television.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say, Christian. The future of gaming is not in what like how powerful the system is. That's not the point. Like Microsoft's game streaming, yes, if you're streaming to your actual console, that matters a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what Microsoft is doing. They're saying, hey, the entirety of the game's library, we have all of it. You don't have to download anything. We're just streaming it directly to your device. We are processing everything, and all you need to do is have a decent enough connection for your controls, and that is it.
Here's where I will respectfully disagree with you on that. I think if Microsoft was truly giving up on the console war and putting all of their chips into the digital on all these other devices, they would not have spent $7.5 billion for Bethesda. You do not buy Bethesda. One of the
why they spent.
No, you do not buy Bethesda, one of the most notorious big game companies, to have people play it on their phones. You want them to play it. You want them to play it exclusively on your console.
You want them to play it on everything. Everything.
I agree with Dan.
You want them to play it on a Nintendo Switch through your streaming app. You want them
Damn it, I agree with Daniel.
Or with your streaming app. They want you to play it on your computer, on your cell phone, on your iPhone, on your Xbox with their streaming app. And you do not have to download any games to be able to play the massive library of Xbox exclusives, EA titles now because they added that to it, and now the entire Bethesda family. Like, that is a massive game changer. It doesn't matter how powerful or speedy the system is anymore. It just matters that the games are there for you to play and the connection is strong enough to stream it. And the internet's getting better and better and better for everybody.
That's true. You're right.
So
what I would like to see as a gamer is that Microsoft uses this clout to force PlayStation to 9 exclusives.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
I know, but I would like to see it as a gamer.
I would too, and that's why I'm against this entire Bethesda acquisition.
Yeah.
So, but here's the deal, Christian. Here's the deal. What would be so bad about Bethesda's being about exclusives being a thing of the past? What would be so bad?
I am not preaching that we should have exclusives. I think that I am totally all for games being available everywhere. I'm totally all for that, and that's why I think that Bethesda
acquisition that has you upset, because it makes me excited that
because it leads to more exclusivity, not less.
No, it doesn't, dude.
Yes, it does. Because I guarantee you, there is not. I will sit here and I will admit I am wrong in however many months from now, years from now it is, if we're still doing this. If the next Elder Scrolls game, the next Fallout game, any of that, if those appear on a PlayStation console, I will be incredibly surprised, because as much as I want to believe that Xbox will see the massive market they're missing out on Sony consoles and the money they could make, they're going to want to use this as Joe said, a bargaining chip.
I'm with Christian on that one. I think they'll use it as
so what you're doing,
a software
now
company.
Right. So now what you're doing is Sony has all of their exclusives, and Xbox has been failing that battle for a long time. They've been failing the exclusive battle against Sony. So now they went out and bought their exclusives, which is fine. They couldn't make them, so they had to buy them. But they're not going to be letting these games be played on Sony consoles. So all you're doing is, because Sony's not going to give in. Sony's not going to go, okay, you spent $7.5 billion to get Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Doom and all of that. We'll let you guys have Spider-Man and Uncharted. It's never going to happen. Sony's not going to do that. So all that's meaning is that now we're going to have both companies with all of these exclusives, and they're going to be splitting the fan base even further in half and alienating fans from being able to play more games.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Money talks.
It does
a lot. And if Microsoft literally is dominating the market because they're
not going to
rights to all of these massive titles, and it's making them all available on every system, and Sony is the only platform that is the real holdout, they're going to look at how much money everybody else is being able to make by working with Microsoft and realize they need to do something, because they're
not at the cost of losing all of their own exclusives. Spider-Man sold 14.
Okay, so that right there, you're totally right. It would be at the cost of releasing their exclusives, but that becomes a necessary choice when they realize that the exclusives is not going to get the console selling as much as they can and need to.
That's the thing. That's exactly what's going to get them their console sold.
Yeah, the reason why I would want to buy a PS5 is because I would want to play the exclusives.
Right. That's what Sony has built their entire gaming empire on, is their exclusive games. Sony's never been.
It is an old and dead model that is not going to last.
I disagree. There's a reason why the most selling console of all time is a PlayStation console.
The PS2.
Right, and the
PS2 is a DVD player.
The PS4 has sold. The PS4 has sold way more copies than the Xbox One.
Hey Dan, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, show my screen if you guys can see what I'm about to support Christian.
Oh, you're gonna share it? You're gonna share it?
It should be.
I don't know if I can see it right now. I don't know if I can see it. I might need to remove mine first. Hold on.
Yeah, I think you need to pull yours out.
Are you sharing it?
I'm ready. I said sharing, so let me try again. Hold on. I said I was sharing.
Oh, do a crawl to see what Bobby's
doing. Share application window. Here we go. All right.
There we go.
All right, here we go. Give me 1 second.
What are we looking at?
All right. Console units sold. Ready?
Yep.
This is in the millions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Switch has still got probably a good 4 or 5 years left.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So that right there.
Right. So what is the point, though?
The Xbox One, like Job has been preaching, is more powerful than the PS4.
Yes.
So why has the PS4 sold? What was that almost, Bobby? Twice as many
Well-
consoles?
Well, Christian, I mean, like this is also kind of a loaded comparison though, because devil's advocate, even with my PlayStation shirt on, I remember when Xbox One was going to be released, and the old CEO, whoever was the head guy, started to do all the advertisements for the Xbox One and saying, okay, always got to be online, no sharing games, no used games, and their whole business model and the kind of how they said, if you don't have internet, that's fine. You can just play our offline system called the Xbox 360, basically like a middle finger to people that don't want to support that. So I 100% blame that being the reason why Xbox has such a huge stumble at the beginning. Because I remember watching that press conference with one of my neighbors.
Yeah.
We immediately turned to each other. We're like, I'm not going to get the Xbox then because me and him share games. I buy used games from GameStop or from online, and like the whole business model sucked. And it wasn't until Phil Spencer, and I give him so much credit, he really shaped the whole image around of Xbox, and it's a whole lot more welcoming, a bigger ecosystem and everything. I'm just thinking if they had him at the beginning, I think it would have been what it's looking like now, where it's finally like an actually close.
No, and you know
race
what?
to
And
watch.
that's a completely fair point. But the point still stands that the majority of PlayStation consoles have been sold because of their exclusive games, and because of the that's the only place you can go to find those games. Most of the time, if people have a PlayStation and an Xbox, the majority of times I feel like you hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to get the third-party games on my Xbox, but then first-party games on my PlayStation."
Yeah, that's me.
Because
None
Sony
of that matters moving forward.
I don't know. Okay, let me chime in on that as a Nintendo guy. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore.
So as the Nintendo guy, and we just saw that chart, right? And the Switch has been out for 3.5 years, and it's sold, just consoles alone more than the Xbox One. You don't buy a Switch because it's powerful. You don't buy a Switch because of its speed, all of that crap, right?
You buy it because you have children.
You buy okay. I have two kids.
My dangles.
Yes. But
why don't you like anything in this world?
you buy the Nintendo because of its exclusives, and then you buy the Switch because it's really, really easily portable, right? So those are like the two big reasons why people buy the Switch. And to the extent where they even made a Switch Lite that doesn't even connect to your TV because everyone's using it portably. So I would say that like exclusives are not dead, at least for Nintendo. Like Nintendo is going to stick around because they've got, Xbox and PS4, you put all their exclusives together and you compare it to Nintendo, and Nintendo, whether you like the games or not, they have way more exclusives than
definitely. I mean, I would argue Nintendo has the most recognizable franchises out of any of the companies.
Right. I'm not saying that it's
I'd agree with that.
a better system. I'm just saying I want to play those games, and I love how portable it is, but I also have a PS4 and an Xbox One, so...
Right. So basically what I'm seeing is PlayStation has to go the way of Nintendo and choose to not compete in the future of the gaming industry anymore, or they need to go the opposite direction and decide to actually compete legitimately by coming up with a Netflix gaming like Microsoft.
Let me ask you a serious.
They're owning the whole future of gaming right now.
Let me ask you a serious question.
It's an aggressive power move that Microsoft has made that has basically drawn a line in the sand and say we are changing the entire gaming industry forever. Come with us or die. Is basically
so you truly honestly believe that at the rate both of these companies are going, if neither one of them changes their stance, that Sony's just going to crumble and die because they don't have an Xbox Game Pass equivalent?
No, I think they are going to either become like Nintendo and realize that they need to focus specifically on the handful exclusive titles and
I
franchises.
mean, that's pretty much what Sony's been doing for a
Yeah,
couple years
they've
now.
already been doing that for.
Not really.
Yes.
I mean, you've got God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted.
Right.
Like,
But Andrew, you just
all
got
of
done talking about how those franchises are not even remotely as recognizable and system sellers.
no.
Nintendo
I
is.
wasn't saying that they
That's
aren't as recognizable. I'm
Right
saying
now,
I
Sony
already had a
they're at
Switch
a crossroads.
and an Xbox One, and I was like, I want to buy a PS4 because I want to play The Last of Us. I want to play Uncharted.
Who
I wanna
gave you?
play God of War.
Where'd you get that Xbox One? Again?
Yeah, we can talk about that later. That's fine. And I play my Xbox One all the time. I do.
Right.
I play all of them all the time.
My point is, Sony is at a crossroads right now of having to either go full in completely on the exclusive franchises and build them up even more to the point of being household names like Mario, or they're going to end up being like Sega and not making systems for much longer.
No. I completely and just that is completely incorrect.
How is making a massive $500 system that you're losing money on a formula for the future of gaming when Microsoft is literally dropping thousands of games and owning the exclusive?
Because Microsoft is also making a $500 console that you're saying they have no plans to be relevant in a couple years.
Really don't care. They really don't care.
I
They care that it's there and available for the people who, like Joe, want to have this massive, sweet, amazing kick butt system that's got.
I think
like,
that you think
crazy power
Xbox is
behind
putting more stock into the Xbox Game Pass than they actually are. I think that they see it as a massive selling point for them. I would be incredibly surprised if this was the last console they ever made, or if they like pushed fully into that. They're never. It's not going to happen.
I'm not saying they're going to get rid of selling consoles. That's not what I'm saying.
You're saying the Xbox Game Pass,
they are not competing.
that you're going to be able to play all these games and all these other things, and the console isn't going to matter. That's what you literally just said.
I'm saying that they are not putting all of their chips in their successful gaming model and being on selling consoles and exclusive games.
That's why they're losing.
No, that's why they're going to win.
But they're losing now.
The more consoles you have sold, though, the more players you have, right?
Yeah,
Used to be the case. That used
And
to
then
be.
the more players you have,
Well,
the more
okay.
games are being.
Let me throw one wrench into the conversation too, because I feel that we have Nintendo, a Nintendo rep, we got an Xbox rep, we got a PlayStation rep.
I love that you call me a rep. That's awesome.
At one point, if you're really going to talk Microsoft, it's been an hour, and not one time has the word PC been around, and that can't be ignored because those ecosystems of PC and Xbox really go hand in hand. So, example is like few houses down. My friend, he straight up told me, "I'm never going to buy an Xbox One. I won't buy the console, but I will subscribe to Game Pass so I can play it on my PC. I already have a PC. Everything that they're making is already coming to my PC."
Yeah.
I think the conversation of consoles being sold, I think that is going to be a dead conversation. And I think it is going to be more about like how many players are just even subscribing to what you do or even caring about what you do, because it used to have to be units sold. But now it's like I have an MSI. He has some crazy PC setup that's like thousands of dollars. And my sister has an old Intel i5. But all of us can get Game Pass and all of us can play it. And then now Dan can play it on his phone. My girlfriend can play it on, on her phone. Like anyone can really have access to it without the $500 barrier of entry.
I can't play it.
You could play it on your phone.
Nope, I can't play it. Not on
iOS.
I'm an Apple
The
boy.
iOS thing is an Apple thing all of its own. That's like a beast of its own.
Although there was an announcement that came out that Apple is going to have the option of allowing you to connect with your library of games on your system. It's not going to allow Game Pass, but you are
because they're not making any money
right now.
Yeah, and also like that whole thing that Dan was talking about too, about streaming a game. If Xbox ends up fully going in that route, that's catching up with PC too, because right now, like if I wanted to stream a really powerful PC game, there is this feature from NVIDIA, the GeForce Experience, where you can have the crappiest hardware in your computer. You just stream it off of their servers, and their servers power the whole game and have everything go smoothly. And you can play the latest 4K games, whatever thing that you own, even if your like actual hardware itself can't run it at that kind of capacity.
Thank you, Alberto.
So it's a possibility, but at the same time, it's like that does exist and it already is working. I don't know if that same model though can easily work just as well in PC, or I mean in the console world.
Can I? I have another stat to share with everyone about video games units. So not consoles, but video game units sold.
I actually was just looking at this list as well. So go ahead.
If you guys want me, I'm ready to share it. If you guys are ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I love that you're just sitting there eating your dinner while we're all.
What's that?
All right. So anyone want to make a guess who has the most video games units sold?
Me.
Switch.
My team.
Switch.
Yep. Switch.
Wait, like of all time?
Oh, right now this is in 2019.
Oh no, it's still PS4 then Switch.
2019.
Oh, 19? Yeah, it's Switch.
Yeah.
Dude, here's the thing, man. Switch, okay, so everyone, I was about to say everyone remembers the Wii U, but the reality is nobody remembers the Wii U. The Wii U just tanked. It was terrible. I still love my Wii U. But when the Switch came around, I don't know how they struck gold because it's literally a Wii U that's just portable. It's basically the same exact thing.
Yes.
And it's just crazy that it's been around for 3.5, 4 years, and it's just like you said earlier, Bobby. Nobody can find it in stores.
No,
it's impossible to find. And so I was gonna say I'm guessing we're all probably 30 or older, and
almost.
Most of us, it's we probably come from a generation of enjoying owning physical things, which is the reason why I have all of this shit behind me, right? But
relate with that just a little bit.
But the future, I feel we all know is going digital, and it's the future kids. I hate to say this, but kind of on Daniel's point is that people just want to play the games, and I don't know if people are going to care as much about physically owning a console as we do.
If anything, I think it's it's going to be the nostalgic inconvenience of, not unlike for those of you who remember what cars were like before power windows. Anybody? I know I did, right? Roll up window, crank the thing up. It's okay, if as soon as you got a car with power windows, did you ever go back to a car that didn't have power windows after that?
Yes.
Not by choice.
By choice.
You went back. Shut up, Joe. No, you didn't.
I would go back to it.
Thank you.
SS Chevelle.
All right, guys, I'm going to open my birthday present from my sister-in-law in front of you guys.
Nice.
Let's see what it is.
It's a Google Stadia. Yeah.
It's some London dry gin, baby.
There we go.
So I have a stat for you guys. I don't have it pulled up on my computer, so I can't screen share it. But so I have the top 50 most selling games of all time.
Again, all these stats. Selling the game is already going to be obsolete.
Who would like to take
buy the game? I think.
Who would like to take a guess as to which console has the most games on this list?
PS2.
I want to say the Wii or the PS2.
Okay. So
how far back are we going?
I mean, it's the 50 highest selling games of all time.
Okay, let's hear him.
So I'm not going to go on the full list, but I will tell you this. So
give us top 10.
The majority
top
of them
10.
the majority of them are multi-platform games. I will tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
yeah,
it's pretty much, if it's multi-platform, then I know top 10 is occupied by Call of Duty at that point. That's
no.
just...
So here we go. So number 1 is Minecraft.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Number 2 is GTA 5.
Okay.
Which GTA 5 is, so Minecraft is sitting at 200 million units sold.
tons of people still playing that.
Yeah, GTA 5 is sitting at 135 million units sold.
I just built a farm with my girlfriend like 2 days ago.
Tetris is sitting at 100 million units sold. That's number 3.
So crazy to me.
The regular base Game Boy Tetris?
It says mobile is the platform it has it listed on.
Well, that must be the Game Boy one then.
Yeah, so number 4 is the first console exclusive game. That's Wii Sports.
I was going to say Wii Sports.
83 million units sold.
Yeah. The Wii was
PUBG at number 5.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. At number 6.
Wait, the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Pokemon Red/Green/Blue/Yellow at number 7. Which is kind of cheating because that's like 4 games.
Yeah.
Oh, they were all the exact same.
Wii Fit at number 8. The Game Boy Tetris at number 9.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Pac-Man at number 10.
Wait, Daniel, let me get a screenshot of you holding a Nintendo cartridge.
The first game to appear on this list that is not multi-platform or Nintendo, hold on, is number 32, Kinect Adventures for the 360.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
So here's
and then number 40, and then number 46, The Last of Us.
You guys,
Xbox has 1 game in the top 50, and so PlayStation has 1 game in the top 50 highest selling games of all time.
I think that goes a lot to say. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I'm just going to say, I think that goes a lot to say. I think everything's going streaming. I just subscribe to Apple Arcade, everyone. And who is Alberto? Were you just saying for $20 a month, if I own a Switch, I have access to all the original Nintendo and Super Nintendo games on the Switch for $20 a year?
Yep. They're adding games like every single month.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
so
not every single month, but
but still, as someone on a tight income, I would go buy a Switch in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And give the game and say, all right, my guy who's ready to play video, he's not ready to play video games. It's be more for me at this point. $20 a year. Right. That's an insane deal.
Then now,
you get a lot of games.
Bobby, what if you get that exact same thing, but then instead of having to buy a console, they just make it available on your phone?
Game over. That's the thing.
Right.
I think that's what
Xbox is doing, and they just bought Bethesda, and EA is all on the pass as well as all their exclusives. Like, I do not know how Sony competes with this. I don't see it happening at all.
People like Christian, man. There's a lot of people like Christian out there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's going to be diehards to the day. I get it. I get it. They're going to be in second or third place. Right.
Also Japan.
The measure of success is no longer.
And that's it too. And that's it too. It overseas.
Yeah.
Microsoft has virtually no presence overseas.
You guys listen to Spawnwave
for a gaming console?
It's in third place overseas for a long time, but here's the point. Microsoft as a company is radically changing the entire industry's measure of what it means to be successful, just like Spotify radically changed the way that the music industry is measuring albums sold. They're not measuring albums sold anymore because nobody's buying them. It's not based on that. It's how many times people are listening to their music on Spotify. Netflix is not talking about how many people are buying, then how many exclusive DVD, blah, 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 they're selling. It's all about how many people are choosing to be subscribed to and connect with their exclusive services. And Microsoft is in the biggest position to win the future of this entire industry if nobody else is going to start playing along. You
are assuming that PlayStation and Nintendo are even trying to fight them in that.
Yeah, and they need to, or they're going to having to put their games on their services.
And you know what? I will have to respectfully disagree with that.
Yes, Alberto.
Okay, I'm gonna chime in. Hold on. If I took a shot every time I heard Christian say, like, I'm gonna disagree with Dan today.
Yeah.
Right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like your brother was saying, there is still gonna be people for sure that are gonna end up buying a PlayStation system, without a doubt. I buy PlayStation. Like I ended up buying the PlayStation for Horizon Zero Dawn, and I kept playing it for every bit of the exclusives that they had. Like in the perfect world for me, honest to God, would have been Xbox systems can play all PlayStation games. Like if I was able to play Final Fantasy 16 and Miles Morales on the Xbox Series X, oh done. Like that's it. I just buy the Xbox. But the only reason I keep buying the PlayStation is because I know them and they're never gonna end up switching it. They're never gonna end up porting it, and it's a bit of a bummer. And there is something to be said also about like the Japanese market. Like Persona was a huge thing over East, and it came over to the West, and then it just took over. And it was so big they ended up making like a new version of the game, and I fell in love with that version too. So there's a huge market overseas as well that really cannot be ignored as well. So I don't know. To each their own, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I think it's interesting that like Nintendo is just on this, like they're kind of chilling on the side, racking up mad stacks of cash.
Yeah, dude, I got. I'm trying to share here.
Do you guys think with this whole Bethesda acquisition, and just before I move on to this question here to move the conversation forward a little bit, let me get where is it? Oh, here we go. I'm just going to read this list. All of the studios now that Xbox owns or franchises, like major franchises here now.
Yep.
With this acquisition, we're talking Alpha Dog Studios, which was Wraithborn, Monstrosity, Rampage. We got Arcane Studios, so that's Dishonored, Prey, and then now Deathloop, which is the timed exclusive for PS5. That game looks awesome. I am super excited about that. Bethesda Game Studios, which is, of course, The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and then now the new IP Starfield. id Software, which is Doom, Quake, and Rage, as well as Machine Games, which is Wolfenstein, and then Elder Scrolls Online, which is ZeniMax Online Studios, as well as Fallout 76. And then they just own all of these other massive studios that we all know about now. 343 Industries, which is Halo, the Coalition, which is Gears of War franchise, Double Fine Productions, which has Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, Broken Age. They've got The Bard's Tale and Wasteland. We've got Minecraft. They've got Hellblade. They've got Project Maria and Bleeding Edge. They've got Obsidian Entertainment, which, check this out, means they have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Fallout New Vegas, and The Outer Worlds.
And these are Microsoft. This is Microsoft owns IPs. Right. And some of these are multi-platform too, because you can buy these off the iOS store and play them.
Why I'm like kind of laying all of this out there. We've got Playground Games, Fable, and Forza Horizon, right? You've got Rare, which includes Donkey Kong Country.
No, it doesn't include Donkey Kong Country.
Perfect Dark, Sea of Thieves, Killer Instinct, right? These are the companies that are falling under Rare. Yes, Donkey Kong.
No, Donkey Kong is owned by Nintendo.
Donkey Kong Country
is not owned by Rare. No.
It was developed by Rare.
But Microsoft doesn't have the rights to it.
Owns the rights to it.
Saying that's the games that people will recognize the company created.
Yes, but it's not the game that Microsoft.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that
they own Donkey Kong. No, I'm
saying but nobody's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna buy a Xbox. Rare
of all of these games that are Andrew, the only one that isn't maybe actually with Xbox here is probably Donkey Kong. But Everwild, Battletoads, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Sea of Thieves, Killer Instinct, all with Microsoft now.
So before, real quick,
Forza, State of Decay, right?
I know we're veering into the Bethesda conversation now. So real quick, I have something that we kind of went on a long tangent there. We started with a fun
tangent.
It was. We started with the PS5 news and kind of went off on this tangent. So the one big announcement that shocked kind of a lot of people coming out of the PlayStation 5 event was what they're calling the PS Plus collection. So on PlayStation 5, for free with your PlayStation Plus subscription at launch, they're going to have God of War, Bloodborne, Persona 5, Resident Evil 7, Last of Us Remastered, Monster Hunter World, The Last Guardian, Detroit Become Human, Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Mortal Kombat X, Days Gone, Final Fantasy 15, Fallout 4, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, Until Dawn, and Infamous Second Son, all available for free with the PlayStation Plus subscription.
Well, is that free or it's with the subscription?
With the subscription, so you don't have to pay anything extra.
Right.
Oh, wait,
And-
okay, so
Is that a time thing, or is it a you
No.
get them forever?
No, it's just
Yeah, it's just
Well, as long as you have
on PS5.
PlayStation
So you can't get those for free on PS4. It's just on PS5. You get all of those PS4 greatest hits
So
for
your
free.
your account with all of those PS4 games wouldn't be playable on your PS4, even though every single one of those titles was on PS4.
So it's you are getting access to that game on your PS5 for free.
But it's
And
not
you
for
get
free.
it
to buy a PS5.
You say it's free, but it's not for free.
Well, if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, which you need PlayStation Plus to play online,
That's lame not to have access on your PS4.
it's an incentive for buying the PS5.
What
You
if
get
you
access to all of these great.
all of those on your PS4 already?
I mean, then you're not losing anything because you're already having PlayStation Plus. It's an added bonus for having PlayStation Plus and upgrading to a PS5. You're getting access to all of these greatest hits for free on your PlayStation 5.
I have a question about Xbox.
Already played.
With new games that come out, is there any talk about those games going to be available for people who have an Xbox One, but just like a downgraded version, or is it just not going to be like that?
It's going to be like that.
So like Halo Infinite, I could play that on my Xbox One.
Correct.
If you have Game Pass, it will have the upgraded version of it playable on the new system or on the Xbox One S or Xbox One X, and it'll play.
What's the incentive for me to buy an Xbox One X? If I already have an Xbox One?
I mean, we've already talked about there
Yeah,
isn't
that's why
who already have the system, and Microsoft is fine with that because their business model is not on how many consoles they
All
put
right.
out.
It's about
Yeah,
software.
that's why
Right. So anyways, I just wanted to get that out there real quick before we veered off into the Bethesda.
But here's
So again, they're trying to. They're trying to
Yeah.
do a subscription too.
right.
I was gonna say, so that's why I think, even though it started like 1990 whatever, the whole term, really I feel like the term of the console war started with Sega and the SNES.
Yeah.
I feel like every generation since then, I mean, listen, we're passionate about games. We're talking about it for long enough on a Sunday night and in our basements and whatnot. So of course we love it. But at the same time,
I'm in my living room.
I'm in the kitchen.
But still, like, I think that the definition of console war, if nothing else is going to change, that definition has to change for this. And I think that like we can't keep thinking about it the same as 1992 anymore, with power this, power that. Nintendo, Sega does with Nintendo and left and right. It has changed a lot since then, and now it's like Nintendo is in their own lane with knowing that Mario and Zelda is going to sell, because let's be honest, those games are awesome and you will keep buying those consoles because they're great. Xbox is clearly going to go the Netflix route, which I feel like they kind of try to do last generation.
Yeah.
Went about it the wrong way. They're fixing their mistake. And Sony is like, I mean, look at the way they name their systems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're doing the same model because they know it works. And so I think so Christian and Dan, like you guys are going a lot about system sellers, non-system sellers. I think that conversation has to be killed because it's officially, I think this is the generation where it has to be rewritten at this point. It just has to.
There's just too much competition though in people's minds that
All three of the major companies have different priorities for this generation.
Totally.
So Nintendo is content to sit there with their console and sell the games they know they're going to sell.
So this leads me to this question then. Okay, all of those studios that I just mentioned that Microsoft now owns.
Yes.
Their model, are we to some degree on some kind of an agreement of the fact that Microsoft doesn't care as much about how many systems they're selling, and that their model moving forward is focusing more on subscribers?
Well, because it hasn't worked for them in the past. Yes, I agree with that, because they have not been able to make the sales.
So I don't think it's because they haven't been able to make the sales.
I do. We just looked at a chart that showed.
Right.
I think so.
The amount of consoles they've sold. No, I think
video games and we saw the consoles and video games.
So that they're making this move just because they don't think they can sell as many consoles moving forward. I think they're saying this is a much bigger opportunity to make more money than just selling consoles.
Well, and I think because they know that it hasn't worked for them the past two.
Yeah. This is just
okay. Xbox 360 did well.
360 dominated.
Yeah, 360 definitely. Well, no, the Wii dominated, but
yeah. But 360 dominated much like because of the way the PS4 has dominated this generation because of an early starting gate malfunction from Sony.
Right.
Sony released the PS3 a year later at a ridiculous price point.
Yeah.
And basically shot themselves in the foot. And the PS3 still almost caught up to the Xbox 360 by the end of the generation.
Here's my question, and this is kind of jumping off of what the Bethesda founder recently said this past week after the announcement of Microsoft buying out Bethesda.
And he is not with them anymore. Correct?
Not with the company anymore.
Not with the company anymore, but this is the founder.
Freedom of saying what he actually thinks. And he said, quote, what Microsoft owns, Sony cannot get.
Yeah. So the actual Bethesda president said that all of their games will be viewed on a case-by-case basis as to whether they will be exclusive to Xbox or multi-platform.
Xbox. Right. Phil Spencer said all the
yes. I apologize.
Will be honored, and everything moving forward will be on a case-by-case basis.
Yes, I apologize, Phil Spencer. That's what I meant.
That doesn't breathe a lot of hope into. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Everything's still going to be good moving forward.
No, yeah.
So the question that I have, and we can just kind of go around here, do you think any of these properties are going to be Xbox exclusive?
Yeah, let's go around.
And if so, which ones?
Yeah, which ones? We'll start with you, Andrew, since you're the new guy.
All right. So I think that, yes, they probably will have some. But I think that out of any of the companies, Xbox is actually the one that's most willing to play nice. You've got even just like, I don't know if you guys care about this game or not, but Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That was like one of the like, we've got this exclusive game and it's just us kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And just recently at a Nintendo Direct, they released as like, Nintendo Directs, they always got like one last video at the end kind of a thing. And the last video at the end was saying that the new Ori game is coming to Nintendo. And not only that, they're actually making and there's no way I was able to get it because it sold out right away, a collector's edition that had a physical edition of both Ori games, which this is what's crazy to me is that like this is a Xbox exclusive originally game that now the only physical version of it is going to be on a Nintendo console.
Cuphead finally made its way.
Cuphead as well made its way, and now they're going to the PlayStation as well.
Right. Yeah. Cuphead,
so
like,
I think that out of any of the companies that makes this huge acquisition, Xbox is going to be the most willing to share this with other people because they're going to make a crap ton of money
and gamers win because of it.
Right. So that's my take on it, is just what I've seen in the past.
What ones do you think would be exclusives and which ones do you think would definitely not be exclusives? If you had to,
that's so hard because I don't see Doom. Like Doom is I feel like too big of a franchise to be on only one system. Unless if Xbox was legit trying to go the route of we're the only system that you can play Doom, so it's really interesting now to see what the future is going to look like, because
here's where I think, Andrew, it gets really interesting, because I could see Microsoft saying, hey, this stuff is only going to be playable on Xbox consoles or Xbox Game Pass.
Sure.
And you can get a Game Pass on the Switch, and you can get a Game Pass on PlayStation if they allow it.
I don't think PlayStation would allow that.
Be like, hey, we're willing to bring these games to the other systems. These companies just don't want them to come.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that PlayStation would. There's been a lot of love lately between Microsoft and Nintendo.
Yeah, there has been. Definitely.
Even like exclusive Minecraft, Super Mario themed game. Like It's pretty crazy to see some of the things that you see with like the friendship between them. And Phil Spencer loves Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like he thinks Nintendo's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well, and ever since Reggie Fils-Aimé stepped down from
Right.
Nintendo and Doug Bowser stepped in, Doug Bowser has been a lot more willing to play nice with these other companies as with
how
Microsoft
awesome
as
is it
well.
that his last name is Bowser?
Please bring us 007 GoldenEye back.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Can we just say though, for just getting it out there, that man was born to be the Nintendo president.
Yeah, Doug Bowser.
Doug Bowser, like
Dude,
Bowser. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
speaking of GoldenEye, this is a little shot at you about Nintendo. If it wasn't for GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, Daniel would not be an inverted player.
If it wasn't for Dan's lack of mental capacity as to how to actually use a controller, he wouldn't be an inverted
Because
gamer.
I was once an invert.
Oh, what happened? Oh, where did? Oh, what happened?
So Joe, where do you stand on the exclusive?
Joe.
Actually, I'm going to be right back, so maybe kick me out for a second.
I don't believe they're going to be exclusive at all because nothing.
Massive library that we just talked about.
No,
Nothing's going to be exclusive.
no, and because Microsoft is about gamers, and they're not going to be exclusive about that.
I hope you're right. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll bet money.
I hope you're right.
They would do it as a bargaining chip with Sony to try and make them open up their exclusive library at all.
I think no. I think ultimately it's about money, and having their games on multiple consoles is going to be profitable.
I mean, okay.
It's about money.
I agree with that.
Who's next?
I do. We'll wait for we'll get to me. We'll get to me. Alberto,
Yes.
do you think any of these titles will be exclusive to Xbox moving forward?
I'm kind of a mix.
Which one would be? Which one do you think would be the best choice to be an exclusive?
So, in every video game talk, I'm always right in the middle of the road. So there's a yes and no. So easy answer. I think there'll be timed exclusives. As silly as they might be, I kind of feel like that they might do that route.
Exclusive DLC content.
Yeah. So, but to answer the other half of the question, what titles? So the big ones for sure, no. So Skyrim, Doom, I think they're too big. Despite the fact that Doom even started on PC, I think it'd be awesome if Doom became like an Xbox exclusive because it's kind of fitting the whole ecosystem of PC. But
it's the Microsoft family.
Yeah, but I don't see them being exclusive. But as far as titles, I would say the smaller ones like I think there was one called Starfield, Prey.
What's the new one? Starfield's the new title that
From Bethesda Studios, the new base RPG, which we know nothing about yet.
Yeah, so I would say maybe something like that one or Prey. I can definitely see Prey being there, Dishonored being there. So I say the word smaller, but I still loved all those series for sure.
Yeah. Rage series, maybe.
Yeah, Rage as well. Like I can definitely see those being exclusives because it kind of reminds me of the original Xbox back when they used to have certain exclusives as well. That was kind of really fitting that like heavy metal hardcore kind of like image.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
But
you, dude.
So I'm very torn as well, like Alberto. I think I do not think that I don't know. I don't think Microsoft would have spent $7.5 billion to put them on Sony consoles. But at the same time, like Joe said, they're missing out on a ton of money if they don't put it on Sony consoles. A ton of money. And so I think what's going to end up happening is one of two options, and I can't decide which one it is. Either all of the smaller games, the Wolfenstein, the Doom, the Prey, the Dishonored, all of those will be the Microsoft exclusives going forward, and then your big three, as it were, the Bethesda Studios games of Fallout, Elder Scrolls and now Starfield will be your cross-console and multi-platform ones, or it'll be the opposite. And Microsoft is going to take those big three Bethesda brands and say, listen, you want to play Fallout 5 or Elder Scrolls 6, you need to come to Microsoft console. But if you want to play Wolfenstein, sure, you can play that on Sony. I think it's going to be one or the other.
What do you think about the idea that Microsoft wants to get its streaming app service on PlayStation? Do you think they would try to do that or no?
No, I don't. I don't see Microsoft trying to do that.
They're already working. There's been persistent rumors that they're already going to do it on the Switch. So.
That would I truly do believe that they would partner with Nintendo to do that. I think Microsoft knows that there's not a chance in hell Sony would ever agree to that.
Which is why I think they'd hang on to all of these properties to make it be essentially.
Yeah, I can see
anybody who has PlayStation now can't play any of these games on their console. They have to go the route of Xbox.
So I will say this right now.
Oh, hit the record button.
Yes, you and Dan, you can hold me to this and quote me to this.
All right.
If it is announced that Elder Scrolls 6 is a Microsoft exclusive game, I will purchase an Xbox Series X that day.
Okay. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think I'm praying it is not. Because there is two reasons. There's
exclusive, and Sony will have to wait like a year before they get it.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 is the one thing that would make me, if that's exclusive, that made me consider it. Right now, the only game that is announced for an Xbox console that is even making me consider buying an Xbox is Fable. That's it. That's the only game that I'm even considering, because the first Fable game was so good.
It was.
And Fable 2 was still pretty good, not nearly as good as the first one. So if
we don't talk about Fable 3.
No, we don't talk about Fable 3. No. But so if as more details come out about the new Fable game, if that continues to be as intriguing as good as it looks like it potentially is I would consider doing that.
Bobby, I know a lot of these games you're not as familiar with, but I'm curious, like, do you think Microsoft would go the route of making any of these exclusives, or
I don't think it's in Microsoft's interest to make them exclusives. I think it's in their interest to put on many platforms as possible, because they are a software company. I left because I was trying to see how many Bethesda games are on the App Store and iOS. Doom and Doom 2 are the only ones I can find, and Fallout Shelter are the only games I can find. I think it'd be a stupid move not to put them on every platform and just let the console. We have the console if you want it, but subscribe to the service and you get all the video games.
Yeah, that's kind of supporting your thing, Daniel, of saying they don't care about selling consoles, and if they can have these exclusives and then have Sony paying them for it.
No, they'll go the Apple route. Like, you want our exclusives, it's 30%. We want a 30% cut.
Sure.
Or whatever it is. I mean, or Sony.
The fact that every console that's come out in the last generation has a Blu-ray drive in it means that they're giving Sony a cut for that, because Sony owns the copyright.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
right.
There's a lot of that kind of smaller back and forth that happens a lot. Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
I think Microsoft has positioned themselves to prove a point that they're not playing second fiddle to Sony, and haven't been as much as they like to think they are. I think Microsoft's in a position they position themselves very, very strategically to force Sony to change the way that they're thinking about the gaming industry, or risk losing big time.
Do we want to look at the stock price, compare the stock prices of Sony versus Nintendo versus?
Yeah, let's do that. I think honestly, I don't know that I would go so far as to say all of them, that all of these properties that they acquired from Bethesda would be Microsoft exclusive. I do think if I were to pick one, I would say probably the Fallout franchise. I think Fallout 76 has degraded the value of that franchise's name.
And Fallout 4 had a pretty kind of subpar reaction as well.
Like, hey, this is just another Fallout.
Interesting note now, Microsoft does own Obsidian and Bethesda, leading to the possibility of a Fallout New Vegas sequel.
That's exactly where I'm going with this, Christian. I think you're going to see a Fallout New Vegas title announcement sometime in the near future, and it will be an Xbox exclusive.
That would not surprise me in the slightest.
Day one on the Game Pass, and there's going to be a next-gen version of that available for you to play day one by being a Game Pass member, and it will not be available on PlayStation.
So, Dan, let me ask you a question. While Bobby's pulling up those stock prices, how does the Game Pass work? Because I don't really know a ton about it.
You spend $15 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and you log in with your Xbox account through the Game Pass app, the streaming app. And as long as you've got a strong enough internet connection and a controller that's Bluetooth, you can play the games that are in its library.
And do those games change, or is it always the same game?
The like Microsoft heavy hitting exclusive titles do not change.
Okay.
Which is probably about 60% of the library.
Okay.
The other 40%, they're there for however long the contract of those games are.
If I may, how much is a PS Plus?
$9.99 a month. Or no.
$15 now.
No, hold on. It's $59.99 for the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same price as Xbox, like yearly, monthly, and the tri-monthly one. They're all the same price.
So for a year of Xbox Live, you get Xbox Live, Microsoft Game Pass, and EA Play.
Yep.
I forgot that's coming out on holiday.
Live and not Game Pass, though. Can it be cheaper for just Live?
Yeah, it's $5 cheaper if you do just Xbox Live.
So how much is that? Is that the $15 a month? Is the Xbox Live, Game Pass, and the EA Play all bundled together?
Yes. Yeah, that's $15 price. $10 price is just gold. So
is there a yearly option for that that's cheaper, or is it just only the $15 a month?
I wish.
There's always deals. I bought 6 months for I want to say $24.
Really?
Yeah.
Of Xbox Live or of the Game Pass?
So here's the stocks.
Both.
Okay. Wow.
What are we looking at?
Oh, hold on. I had a whole.
All right, I'll remove it.
No, we're ready to go. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay. All right.
That's Sony.
Okay.
That's Microsoft. And that's Nintendo. That's the stock price history over the past year.
Okay, but I will say that this statistic is skewed because Microsoft does do a lot of other things.
Oh yeah,
and so does Sony. And remember, Sony,
but not to that extent. Sony doesn't have their hands in as many different things as Microsoft does.
Right? They're not making computers.
Yeah, Sony manufactures TVs and that sort of stuff. Microsoft is literally right. Microsoft, but that's not that's a completely different realm. And Sony Pictures is not nearly as profitable as it once was.
No, I mean, but that's the overall.
Joe's over here.
What I'm trying to say is Microsoft has a better plan and is also as a company, it's now worth what? I forgot. Yeah. It just came out saying it's now one of the most valuable companies.
Microsoft, I would argue Microsoft is a much larger company than Sony.
Which is why they can go out of their way and drop $7.8 billion to buy the biggest game studio acquisition in video game history, just to prove a point.
And didn't Amazon just have a similar feature now they're going to do?
Yep. Actually, I've got that. Let me see if I can bring that up. Amazon Luna Amazon Luna.
Yeah, they're competing against Stadia.
Yeah, Stadia is pretty much dead. And that's so here's the thing.
Oh, that's funny. They got Ukulele as their top game on that thing.
Stadia was basically the precursor to what Microsoft is trying to do. And Stadia just seriously sucked as a business model because you had to subscribe to the service and then buy the games.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point of that. I don't want to do that.
Stadia is the modern day Zune failure.
Yeah.
So
Everyone knew it was going to fail, though.
Amazon's coming out with their own version of it, and it's going to be subscription focused. It's not, there's a certain number of games in their library that you can just play right off the bat. I don't know that they're going to have exclusives or anything like that, or very knowledgeable exclusives anyway. But that's the game plan. Everybody's trying to do this, but I think Microsoft definitely has the best foundation for really being able to deliver on this.
Can we talk real quick? We don't have to take a lot of time, but
We got to do our pointless debate here too. So
when we talk about these new consoles, we obviously don't know what the PS5 controller feels like.
Right.
And we can all probably bet that the Xbox controller is going to feel pretty much like the Xbox One controller. It looks almost the same.
yeah, it's the same.
I am a kind of person who I like Xbox where it has the thumbsticks that are in two different spots.
The offset.
But I love the feel of the PS4 controller. It just melts in my hands. And so, like, how much do you think that is going to be the future of people, deciding things? Because it's like that's the direct connection between you and the game that you're playing,
I think all the new stuff that Sony's trying to say, hey, our new controller is going to be all like, I don't
like the
know.
3D sound and all that as well.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that too.
I
I think
know
one.
that's a big deal. Long
I think
term.
another
Okay,
thing also to kind of be considering also is kind of in the same realm as Andrew, kind of just like thinking about like all like the smaller things as well, not only just like how comfortable a controller will feel, but also crossplay. I feel like we've also kind of like just missed that whole entire conversation too. Nintendo and Microsoft have been playing kind of nicely about that, and Sony's been kind of slow about the whole crossplay thing. So
right.
I would love it if
Oh, dude, I
that
remember
becomes a huge thing.
crossplay. I was on a road trip on a megabus to Daniel's house from Minneapolis,
Oh
and it had Wi-Fi, and I just got Rocket League,
yes,
and I was on the bus crossplay playing Rocket League with Daniel at his house.
that was
And
something.
that was
that,
in my Xbox.
He
that was
on
the
Xbox.
first. That was the first game that came to mind
Yeah,
because
and it was like not great Wi-Fi, but it worked perfect. It was
Yeah.
so weird for me that I was like, I'm playing online with my brother right now while traveling at 60 miles an hour.
yeah,
Like it was the weirdest thing.
It's like I can see Sony doing, of course, striving and doing well with their exclusive models as long as it's single player stuff. Once it comes to multiplayer, we're now in time and place where people are going to end up buying whatever they want to do, and as long as you can play it crossplay wise, that's honestly like the way that I think the market's going to end up going. Because I played Minecraft with my girlfriend who plays on iOS. I play Xbox.
Yeah.
I played PS4 and Xbox One type of She's gonna kill you, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
She's gonna wake up and that's it.
I love it.
It's gonna be Joe's face on the side of a milk carton like next week.
For those
I wouldn't say anybody's buying a PlayStation for crossplay. They're buying a PlayStation for the
For the singles exclusives and
single games and
for those,
and part of it for me would be also just the controller. Like I like the feel of that. So
no,
for those listening to the podcast and not watching, Joe changed his camera to show his wife supportively falling asleep listening to our conversation. The most boring discussion ever. No. Okay.
It's been a long day. She's tired.
Love you, Sherry. You're amazing. Thank you for the support. Anywho,
who okay, real quick, Who likes Xbox controller? Who likes PlayStation 4 controller?
Oh,
Ooh.
If you had to choose between the two,
Yeah, like apart from like actually the games and the system and all that crap.
best controller for any console, what would you say?
N64. Come on, guys.
oh my!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm wearing a Nintendo 64 shirt, and I
You
just
have 3 hands.
Can we just ask how many drugs was the person who developed that controller on?
dude.
Honestly,
All of them.
it's the questions that should be asked.
Yeah.
The way that you know somebody is a noob on the N64 is they are grabbing it by the left and the right.
Yep, the D-pad.
Nobody.
I think there's like 2 games that actually use the D-pad on the N64.
Oh. I mean, here's the thing. I have not touched an Xbox controller in probably what year did the PS4 come out? 2013?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
8 or 9 years. I've not touched an Xbox controller.
I don't buy that. You've been over to my house.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. No, I apologize. I forgot about that. So over the last 8 years, I've touched an Xbox controller maybe 10 times.
My thing with the Xbox controller is the bumpers are like
Non-existent.
they're just hard to touch compared to the PS4.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't like the offset joysticks personally. That's me. I don't like it. I feel like 2 reasons. One is I'm constantly bumping the D-pad when I'm trying to use the left joystick. And I feel like it's not a comfortable thumb place. I feel like
That's only because you're used to a PlayStation controller.
Well, the D-pad on the PS4 or any PlayStation controller is light years better than any D-pad on an Xbox.
100%.
You want to play Tony Hawk, you play it on a PlayStation controller. I was actually really upset, Daniel, that you got Tony Hawk 1 and 2. And when you told me that you downloaded it, I lit up the PS4 and I was ready to download it. And then
You got it on the Xbox?
And then he bought it on the Xbox.
Damn.
And I was like, dude, I can't find it. I'm like, I don't know where it is. What are you talking about?
What's happening?
I have an Xbox One X. You think I'm going to play that?
No, dude. I have both at home, and I bought it on the PS4 because of the controller.
Yeah, 100%. The controller. Yeah. So now I'm like going through the campaign, and I'm just like, the whole time I'm playing it, I'm like,
that's awkward.
On a PlayStation controller.
I tried playing. Like, I remember last summer when I beat Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2X on the Duke controller, and that just felt awkward the whole time too. Just a big old bulky thing.
Yeah.
But I would say for precise like movement, so for sport games like that and for fighting games, I would easily always pick the PS4. But anything else, literally virtually anything else, Xbox remote. Like Xbox remotes are great for shooters. They're great for RPGs.
Controllers that you have there, Bobby. What is that?
Oh, this is my iOS. This is so I can play video games on my Apple TV.
Like a really weird hybrid of the two.
Yeah.
It's the shape of an Xbox controller, but the joystick and D-pad are like a PlayStation.
And it's got the Xbox buttons.
And that's where I love the Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It is actually a great controller because it has a really good D-pad.
Yes.
But then it has the offset joysticks.
Every great controller is just a copy of the Xbox controller. I'm just saying.
Well, I would argue that PlayStation made that design before Xbox did.
Dude, the original Xbox controller is arguably almost as bad as the Nintendo 64 design.
Xbox 360 controller is
okay. That is
okay.
And our pointless debate is about controllers, everyone.
The PlayStation 2 revolutionized the controller design.
GameCube. Come on.
GameCube feels so good, but the buttons are weird.
Yeah, GameCube is a very good
GameCube though.
It feels so good.
The only people who care about that controller are people who play Smash Bros, and that's just like 12-year-old boys. And
oh my dang, Golson!
Can we ask a question though, real quick? Why has every gaming company in the history of forever never been able to put their X button in the same place?
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nintendo created it with the Super Nintendo controller. They created the BAYX design. And then
again with the Nintendo propaganda.
No, I am saying that
Listen, Dan. We've heard the Snyder Cut propaganda this entire series.
Yeah.
We are
I'm
taking
okay
over.
with
propaganda.
I'm totally okay with hearing Nintendo
Daniel,
propaganda.
I'm about to advocate for you, man. It makes sense for me for it to be ABXY. But the funny thing is, the moment I start playing a Nintendo system, my brain just switches. And when it says press A, I'm pressing A here instead of here. And I don't get it. It's so weird. So, but then when I'm playing an Xbox,
switch it.
yeah. So
I have one question that I would like to ask you guys before we jump into the pointless debate, if we're still going to do that tonight.
Okay.
If the roles were reversed on this Bethesda acquisition, what would your thoughts be? I'm kind of curious on that.
That's
if the roles were reversed, and if Sony had spent $7.5 billion to purchase Bethesda, what would your thoughts be?
But
I believe that Sony would have a whole lot of new exclusives. They would not share.
I agree.
At all. Period.
Agreed,
I agree with you about that.
Yeah.
I think you two would be really pissed off.
I would be.
Look what Sony's doing with Spider-Man. Look how hard it is for them to share Spider-Man with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're only going to put Spider-Man on the Avengers Sony console game.
Yeah, listen, I am as Sony fanboy as Sony fanboys get, and I will admit that it does suck for Xbox fans. The exclusive problem.
It doesn't just suck for Xbox fans. It sucks for everybody that isn't a Sony
True.
fan.
Yeah, you're right. It sucks for non-Sony fans.
Like
and it's a larger problem than just their gaming consoles. Yeah, like you said, look at the Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sony as a company has a hard time sharing their properties.
They just hate doing it.
Yeah.
They want to do it. And that's why I love the fact that Microsoft made such an aggressive move, because I feel like it calls Sony out a little bit and saying, hey, we are going to radically change the industry, and you need to change the way that you're doing business with the rest of us if you want to do business with the rest of us. Which is why I feel when I say they're going possibly, like they're at a crossroads as a company, they're either going to go the route Nintendo did and be like, well, we're not really going to necessarily play with anybody else. We're just going to do our thing. Or we're going to have to play with everybody because we're not going to be making consoles anymore because it's not viable for us. Like those are the two paths that are in front of them in my mind. And a lot of that is because of their attitude of, well, we don't really play with anybody. So.
Yeah, I think they would hold on to them.
Definitely.
I don't think that they'd share. I think that they would make it all about like buy our system because we have these games. And so I also hate I'm saying this, but maybe Xbox is saving the future of gaming by this acquisition.
Yeah.
Because I think that Xbox is going to share.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I honestly
hope I'm right too, because
I mean, why
Nintendo
would they
also
not?
gets these games.
Because there's the two logics to it. There's the logic of Microsoft bought these to convince people to get their console or Game Pass or whatever, or there's the logic they got these to make money. And to me, I do not think you spend $7.5 billion on something to turn around and let everybody use it. That's my personal opinion.
I disagree. As someone who owns a business, if I'm selling something, I want to make it available to everyone. I'll make more money that way.
Unless your goal is to sell consoles.
Right. But
what's their goal? Yeah.
Their goal is not to sell consoles.
Yeah. And this will tell. This will ultimately tell. This will ultimately be the deciding factor.
That right there, I think, is the biggest, clearest distinction that you could make. If Sony made this kind of an acquisition, everybody would then have to buy a PlayStation 5 in order to play anything that Bethesda had moving forward.
Do you think Sony retaliates with a purchase of another company? Do you think Sony retaliates
They
I
don't
don't
have the fun.
there's any companies out there that would want to embrace Sony as their parent because of the model that they have, which
I can think of one company off the top of my head that I think would do it in a heartbeat.
Square,
Who?
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Okay.
Oh,
Didn't Square Enix just lose their exclusivity to PlayStation?
For the new Final Fantasy.
No,
Yes.
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be 100% exclusive to
Yeah, I think it's
PS5.
gonna be
No, it's going to PC
timed
also.
exclusive, right?
There's-
No. They changed that. That
When
was a
they changed
mistake.
that?
It was a mistake. It is going to be exclusive to PS5. That was a mistake in the press
Oh.
conference. It was not.
That's
they,
a bummer.
They came out afterwards and said it will not be going to PC. That
Huge
was a
bummer.
mistake in the press conference.
I could see PlayStation buying Square.
Okay.
Yes,
I agree with that. I could see
100%.
them buying that as well.
I can see that.
Sony is setting themselves up to be the villain of the next.
Or the best friend of everybody.
Yeah.
Like the guy that is
friend of everybody if they're refusing to play with everybody else.
Well,
I'm saying, like, they could be
Sony's
the
going to be
guy-
the Regina George of the next thing. Like you just want to be friends with her.
That's
Oh.
what-
Yeah, they could be the guy that's, at the middle school lunch that's handing out quarters to everybody to buy stuff from the snack bar. Only in exchange, they're like slaves to that person.
So the Godfather.
The Godfather, basically.
He wasn't an ideal role model. I mean,
All right, let's hop into our pointless debate,
let's debate and wrap it up.
or
right.
let's skip it.
Whatever you guys want to do, I'm fine either way.
Hey, Daniel,
Let's
go.
do it. We're all here. Christian's
here.
been holding on to this for the past couple weeks.
Let's
Let's
hear
do it.
Okay. So since there's 5 of you guys, I'm going to go 1 to 20 on the number. Because 1 to 10, that is kind of hard with 5 people picking numbers. It's very
All right.
So 1 to 20, each of you can go in order. Dan, go first.
1.
Okay, Joe.
I'm going to go with 17.
Okay.
Darn
Bobby.
it, Joe. That was my number.
We're typically on a team, right?
Typically we are. So I'm going to go with 14.
Okay. Andrew.
7.
Alberto.
4, always 4.
Okay. So the number was 13. So Bobby's the closest.
Ooh.
So Bobby, so there's 5 of you guys. So how should we do this? Are we going to do 3 people on one team? We're going to what's the best way you guys think?
I was going to say, how can we make Dan squirm?
One of us could be a
You
judge.
put me on the other side.
Well, I definitely want Dan. I want.
Dan needs to be for this argument for him.
Okay,
to
so
be
Dan needs to be 4.
Yeah, now
That's the only. That Dan's going to be 4.
You
His
kidding me?
brother's going to be against it. Because I'm doing this, I'm going to show up on Dan's side to help him out.
Might actually be a bad
I will
thing.
help. I will help Dan. To be,
Are you going to make me to
support
debate
Dan.
something that I don't want to debate?
Oh, you're gonna hate this, but so is Dan, so it'll be worth
Oh,
it.
okay, good.
Ah.
As long as he hates it.
So because I'm doing this, I'll go on Dan's side just to help him out.
Okay.
And I'll bring Joe with me because
Okay. So
Joe's always with me.
Alberto and Andrew against
He's all
Joe,
like-
Bobby, and Dan.
Yes.
So-
Well, wait, how is this 3?
Because
No.
we got 5 people.
3v3.
Is
Because-
the debate going to be the Atari Jaguar versus Sega
Oh my
Saturn? Or what,
gosh. Saturn all the way.
what is this exactly?
I mean, and the Saturn's not that great of a system. But
Panasonic versus the CDI.
To make it fair, I'll set out and just listen.
Okay. All right.
All
So
right,
we'll do
I'll-
Andrew and Alberto versus Bobby and Dan.
Okay. So
right.
I'm helping you, Dan, because I'm putting you this, but I want to see how we squirm though.
All right. Today's pointless debate. Microsoft has the 3rd worst exclusive franchises out of all 3 major companies.
So they have the worst.
Yes.
Right,
They
of
have
the 3.
yes, they have the worst exclusive franchise. Well, whatever. They are in 3rd place in exclusive franchise. So Microsoft has the worst exclusive franchises out of all 3 major studios.
So
So Dan and Bobby are agreeing with that. Andrew and Alberto are fighting against that.
oh, come on.
So you agree? So you're making my brother
Say that Microsoft has the best.
You're making me be a diehard Xbox fan.
Actually,
Oh.
technically, you could just argue that they're not in last place.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
But I am
No.
making Dan agree that Microsoft is in last place with
So
exclusive
basically, you
franchises.
want me to just regurgitate all the stuff that Daniel said the past 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, this is easy. If you've been listening to this
You've been
podcast,
taking
Andrew, you will have like 8 episodes
I got
worth
all
of
the
material.
topics, yeah.
Dan,
Yep.
this is payback for the inverted controls.
Well, worth it.
You're not going to be enjoying that in a couple minutes when you're going to have to be singing Nintendo and Sony's praises here.
Let's go.
I can
This
sing
is so-
Sony Nintendo's praises. Dan,
right.
I'll take
No,
the intro.
Daniel needs to speak.
Oh no, he's going to get the latter. We all get to speak, but he's
Yeah.
going to get the conclusion. I'll start it out. Yeah.
All right, Bobby's going first. Alberto, between you and Andrew, who's going first?
Entirely up to you.
You want to flip a coin? Let's flip a.
Alberto
Alberto
should go first. Yeah, because then Andrew and Dan are going
Oh.
against each other.
Alberto
Okay,
is the better. I will admit, Alberto is the better debater.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
so
but on this.
last.
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going right.
Well, I need to know: is Andrew going first, or is Alberto going first?
No, Alberto's going first because then we can get the sibling rivalry then for the closing arguments.
All right.
And then is
Joe gets-
Bobby
Joe-
going first,
me
or am I
me
going
and-
first?
Me and Joe get to sit back and relax.
Okay, Al, what do you want? You want to go first, or you want me to go first? I don't mind. either way.
You go first. I'm gonna need one.
That's
one
fine. You
hot
got
second.
a minute. So right now, look, Microsoft just sucks. I mean, I can't play Final Fantasy. I can't play Super Mario. I can't play. I can't be Spider-Man on Xbox. It can't be my favorite superhero on there. That's nuts. Only way Xbox is ever going to win is if they blow so much money and buy other people's software. And that's the only way they're ever going to win. And when are they going to do that? Who knows when?
Okay, so now, this is tough. So I have to convince you, Bobby, that Xbox has the best exclusives, right?
Exactly. Yes. Please.
Okay.
Please tell me why. Please tell me why. Please tell me what's better than my Final Fantasy.
Okay. Maybe not you, but the top selling games in the entire world happen to be Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a shooter. Dan might have said that in the past that every single controller since the 360 has been trying to replicate the 360 layout, but I had to make the extra argument. Every shooter since the early 2000s has been doing nothing but trying to copy Halo. Halo has been the forefront, the mascot of this company since its inception, and for good reason. Doom might have started the snowball, but I promise you that Halo ended up just starting the avalanche at that point. Halo alone is strong enough to be able to stand on his own two throughout every single console generation, and this next upcoming one, even Xbox themselves noticed their missteps, took some extra precautions, and said, you know what, this isn't what Halo's all about. I'm going to take that extra step and fully deliver it.
How many games did Xbox sell?
Wait, I don't know the answer.
Not as many as PlayStation and Nintendo.
That's games, though. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what we're
Alright.
talking about.
That's a minute right there. That's a minute.
Is it just 1 minute? Is that how it works?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a minute. That's
All
all
right.
you can use it up.
Yeah.
You're
So
done.
can I just scream the entire 1 minute and we're good?
Each get a minute.
Fair enough. All
Okay.
right, who goes first?
Well, Alberto went first, so I guess that would mean that Andrew would go first.
All righty.
And I am advocating
That
for
Microsoft has,
exclusives or
that
just
Microsoft has
Microsoft
the
is-
best exclusives.
Okay, because that's not what they
And
were.
I'm arguing that they're the worst. That's the way that the other two did it. So
Yeah.
we got all of them.
Okay, so we're just talking exclusives. We're not talking hardware. We're not talking all
No,
that. other
just
stuff.
exclusive games.
All right. Okay, so I mean, Alberto made a huge choice in saying that Halo. I mean, Dan, remember when we were growing up and we were living in the same house and we were like doing Halo parties together? You remember that? So that's like already
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
And then anytime that you and I play online, it's either Halo or it's Gears of War, usually. Sometimes it's Call of Duty. We're not going to go there with that. But, Gears of War and Halo, which are like two huge franchises for the company, are there. And then if we want to talk exclusives, this huge acquisition that just happened is hopefully going to create more exclusives just for that company. And hopefully they're not nice and they just don't share.
Okay. I don't like to lose. Here's why you're full of crap. Anything that sits on a shelf for too long gets stale and old and just rusty. That is what has become of all of Microsoft's exclusives. Halo, dusty old thing on the shelf. Gears of War, dusty old thing on the shelf, right? The only reason people are buying these systems is because they like dusty old stuff, right? That's the only reason. As far as exclusives go, the future of new IPs is clearly with PlayStation. Definitely not Nintendo. Because new IPs are all what Sony is about. People are going to be buying a PlayStation 4 because they like the new IPs. Nintendo, same old stale, grindy franchises that we've seen since we were kids. Some people like those. Yeah, sure. Definitely not new. Definitely not the future. And Microsoft can't create their own. So they got to just keep buying everybody else's in the hopes that maybe they'll have exclusives for themselves, right? Definitely the worst. And now I'm done. That was it. That's all I got. That's it right there.
You had to find a way to stab my Nintendo heart in dissing Xbox.
Definitely.
That was
Kidding me?
I was enjoying every ounce of that.
Basically, I just regurgitated all the crap that came out of Christian's mouth for the last,
It's okay. I still have my Sega Master System.
So I will say that based on argument's sake, that Bobby and Dan won.
Because you're a PlayStation guy.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. You guys also argued that Halo.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any other franchises, honestly.
Because they don't have any. They don't have any.
Oh, you mean like Killer Instinct or Sea of Thieves or...
Okay, nobody plays Sea of Thieves. Don't even
play Sea of Thieves.
Nobody plays Sea of Thieves.
I do.
I've never once heard somebody say, "Oh man, I need to go buy an Xbox One to play Sea of Thieves."
Nope, I would never do that.
No. How many people do you hear say, "Oh man, I bought a PlayStation to play Spider-Man. I bought a PlayStation to play Uncharted. I bought a PlayStation to play Last of Us."
Let's go.
I bought a PlayStation to play Batman.
There you go. That too.
And for the DVD player, and I didn't need to buy an extra remote control for it.
All about that.
I bought a Switch to play Splatoon 2, so that's just a random wrench right there.
There you go.
All right, guys.
Gentlemen, this was a good talk.
This was fun.
Guys, thanks for having me on as your special guest.
Of course.
Come join more often.
Andrew, we are going to override Dan. You are welcome back anytime.
No.
Ooh.
Yes.
No.
Agreed.
No.
Agreed.
All in favor of Andrew coming back?
Yeah,
No,
like
we're not voting on it.
Andrew is Dan Golson's alter ego that actually likes everything.
Yeah.
So
Andrew is Dan before he became a party pooper.
Still want to know.
Hey, Andrew, before we final vote, what's your stance on The Last Jedi?
Yeah, okay, so here's what's really frustrating is that Daniel actually helped me change my perception.
Kick him out.
No.
He can't come back. Let him
Yeah,
change your mind.
There you
He can't come back.
And they just rescinded their votes.
Hold on. I'm not done. Out of the three, episode 7 is the best
Agreed.
by far.
Mm-hmm.
It set up a system of what could have been an incredible trilogy.
Agreed.
100%.
And I
Agreed.
definitely don't think that it was as good as it could have been. I think with the second one, they were just like, well, we're going to do this now. And I do think like hearing Daniel out, there were some good things that he had to say about it. Like first when Skywalker like, you know, gave up his life or whatever, I in the movie theater was like pissed. I was really upset about it. But then him explaining it, it's like it's a final act of love and all that crap. I was like, okay, all right.
All that crap. Yeah.
But
Well, regardless,
yeah, you're on. No worries.
I mean, okay, all right.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
All right. Good night, everyone.
gentlemen.
I'll vote no.
You guys all have a fantastic week.
You guys too. Have a good
Thank
night.
y'all so much for listening.
You as well.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a good week.